What's going on, everybody? Picking up where we left off with Chicken Police, Paint It Red. We are in the sweltering Nile, and I'm probably going to have to bleach my eyeballs again before the end of this episode.
Jeez,
well, that's one way to put it.
hey, every animal's the most beautiful thing in the world to someone.
Yeah,
We heard those lines.
You're right.
Oof, I don't know about you, but I go weak and
Please,
can't I even talk to you?
you can.
Yeah, we heard those lines, and they're all creepy, and I don't want to talk about
I
them.
apologize for the wait. Please, come with me, gentlemen.
So you were successful.
My mistress, Madame Zavas, would like to meet you.
To shoot you both in the kneecaps.
You mean that, Madame Savas?
As far as I know, there's only one of her, so yes.
From the brief glimpse of the picture I caught in the corner, she looked like a crocodilian,
Please, miss, take us to her.
and it would, in fact, be a crocodile, if they're talking about the Nile.
With pleasure.
Madame Zavas was a legend in Clawville. Her name was known all over the wilderness. She's an avid royalist, former member of the Council of 12, spy master, assassin, businesswoman, and courtesan. To be honest, I didn't even know she was still alive. She's no spring chicken, that's for sure. She could also be my mother, or maybe my grandmother. First Ibn Wessler, now her. Honestly, tonight it wouldn't surprise me if His Majesty Hector III didn't grace me with his presence.
I have to say, she has quite the list of credentials. You know, I wish I was a spy master, assassin. I just read assassin and businesswoman at the same time. Fantastic. Awesome. I mean, hell, I'd even be a courtesan for the right person. Just saying. It's, excuse me as I gawk at your office.
Interesting pieces.
Whoa. Hello.
Do you think so? It's the art of my people.
Crocodiles?
There are many kinds of crocodile in the wilderness, Mr. Featherland. This is the art of the Nilenites.
Ah, hence the name, the Sweltering Nile.
It's a river, Mr. Featherland. My ancestors lived by this river a long time ago.
Ah, interesting.
Thank you.
Actually, fun fact. Let you guys in on some cool backstory of mine. Growing up, we actually used to have a lot of reptiles. And I mean, we had alligators and stuff like that. I mean, we had stuff that would boggle your mind. I mean, we used to go to the reptile shows and stuff like that. You know, I love reptiles. Absolutely fascinated by them. Love them. You know, we had all sorts of chameleons and snakes and turtles and frogs, and we had everything you could imagine. You know, my mom used to always keep a giant fish tank too. She used to have quite the collection of fish, which was always cool. And you know, now that I'm kind of out on my own, you know, I have a cat and a betta fish. Now my betta fish is spoiled. He's got a big, huge aquarium to himself. And I say big and huge, but it's a 2.5 gallon for a single betta fish. And of course, my cat's spoiled rotten, but I've been tossing around the idea of getting like a bearded dragon again because they're awesome, awesome lizards. Anyways, enough of a tangent. I might talk about that more in another video at another time.
Is that the time already?
Have you noticed your clock's not working?
How observant you are. That clock isn't meant to show the time. It's a decoration. A memento.
It's beautiful.
Indeed.
Cryptic. Very cryptic. Every kind of book.
There are books here on quite a variety of topics. There are books here on quite a variety of topics.
Thanks. Owls don't blink.
There are books.
Okay, I was hoping he was Slime and Punishment, 7 Pieces of Mind, The Death of the Horse, 49 Years of the Reptile. So these are all jokes about, you know, real books that are out there. I appreciate that. I appreciate a good literary joke. Huh. Yep. More stuff to bleach my eyeballs with.
What a painting. Congratulations, ma'am.
Marty.
Yes. It's beautiful indeed. It's more than 40 years old. You know, I was considered pretty then.
Oh, don't say that. You still look great, ma'am.
Thank you. It feels good, but no. There's no need for lies. Those days are long gone. Every age has its truth and its beauty. For me, beauty is not in the looks anymore.
I agree, ma'am.
So she is the legendary Madame Zavas.
Well, no
Let
shit.
me introduce myself properly, ma'am.
Mr. Santino, I know who you are. And I also know your partner. The legend of the chicken police is always one step ahead of the chicken police.
Thank you. That's flattering.
May I ask what you are looking for exactly? Here on this night?
You know, that's an interesting question. The card we've shown your lovely colleague.
Belongs to an old friend of ours, whom we haven't seen for a long time here.
And the name?
Unfortunately, no, Mr. Santino. That's confidential information. In my line of work, discretion is everything.
Well, you know, in our line of work, the law is above everything.
Oh, do you think so? I could tell you what your colleagues think is also above everything, but, as I said, discretion.
Look, ma'am, we don't want to impose. We're conducting a private investigation, which started off as harmless, but now it's murder.
That sounds serious.
It is serious. That's why we'd be grateful for your help.
In that case, I'm at your service. Ask your questions, and I'm going to answer to the best of my knowledge. As long as you're not wading through muddy waters.
I like her.
Fortunately, I swim very well for a chicken.
I swim well, too.
Ooh, that's there's a sharp implication to that one. I do like her. She's got some, well, bite. Ba-doom-tsh. Anyways.
As I was saying, it belongs to us. Only our most valuable guests have one of these. And our employees, of course.
The employees, too. Good to know. Can you tell me if this card belonged to a guest or an employee?
No.
I thought so. Yes, thank you.
No is a complete sentence.
Lewis Hayworth is a good friend of mine. It surprises me that he's a regular here.
You wouldn't believe our clientele. You would be shocked.
No doubt. Lewis, does he come here often?
Not so often.
Thank you for the vague answer, ma'am.
The mystery is thrilling. The thrill is life itself.
Somebody's dead.
That was beautiful, ma'am.
Tell me, have you ever seen this list?
I have.
Oh.
Am I right to assume it has something to do with the sweltering Nile?
It does, yes. but I can't tell you more about it. No,
Discretion is key.
absolutely.
Do you know Natasha Katsenko personally?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about her.
Warm-hearted, protective, quick-tempered, fierce. Yes, fierce.
Thank you. Very useful.
So, is it possible that Miss Katsenko murdered Deborah out of jealous rage? Possibly for something between Deborah and Ibn Wessler?
This place isn't just our home with the girls. It's a sanctuary.
Really? How?
It symbolizes why the city was founded almost 1,000 years ago. Unity, love, freedom.
Interbreeding?
That too, yes. Do you have a problem with that?
yeah, you know, that too.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't. My girlfriend's a predator.
Really? I'm glad to hear it.
Time to start the real
Deceit
questioning.
is everything to Zavas. She used to be a spy, so I'm gonna take her every word with a grain of salt.
It's bad for your blood pressure, buddy.
Who's behind the legend, Miss Zavas? Who are you, really?
Just an animal raised to survive, Mr. Featherland. And because I've been taught, I know how to survive. I always was what I had to be.
And you managed to dodge my question. Clever.
Well, you see, this is one of the typical elements of survival. The way of dodging a delicate question and still making the questioner believe he got the answer. But you're too cunning and experienced, aren't you? You're not an easy one to fool.
Ooh, she's gonna be a tough one.
I'm trying to maintain appearances, ma'am.
You should. Appearances, most of the time, are stronger and more dangerous than the truth.
Tell me, were you really the king's spy?
If that's such an open secret, then I haven't been doing my job very well, isn't that right? Yes, I was a spy. But that's such a blunt way of putting it. I always say I used to undertake confidential, generally political assignments of a delicate nature for the king that were in the interests of national security.
It's a better way to put it.
Put that way, it sounds rather romantic.
Don't believe the cheap fiction, Mr. Featherland. Espionage is anything but romantic.
I believe you, madam.
If you must know, I only did it because I believed I could protect those that I serve. Weapons have only one use in this world: to keep the peace. Yes, I always thought about myself and my craft that way.
Thank you for your honesty, ma'am.
She's cool.
Why did you decide to open a brothel?
You know, this place used to be an orphanage. Then after the Great Avian Plague, a hatchery. Then, young mothers lived here who had nowhere else to go. That's when I took over.
Young mothers and prostitutes. That feels like a sharp turn.
No, it didn't happen like that, of course. The process took 20 years, but one thing remains the same. I wanted to help girls who had nothing and no one. To help them.
And this was the best you could do, helping them sell their bodies.
You see things very superficially, Mr. Featherland. We're a family who helped each other even at the worst of times, took care of each other, and what's most important, survived. Yes. Survive, no matter the cost.
You know, Sonny, don't shame sex workers. Don't do that. That's rude. You know, people gotta make a living, and I ain't gonna shame nobody for how they make a living. You know, it's not right. Don't be like that.
And it's the cherry on top of the most treasured secrets of the rich and famous.
Very insightful, Mr. Featherland. There's truth to that. Knowledge is power, as they say. And we know a lot about powerful animals that could be used as weapons. Or the opposite. That could avert a war.
If I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
I wouldn't say that's an acceptable price for such a secret as this, but if you guess right, I won't lie to you. Then, I will tell you you were right. Yes.
Good. Let's see. The answer to my question. Natasha Katsenko.
Well, Mr. Featherland, it seems the gossip about you is right. What gave it away?
It couldn't have been easier. There's a beautiful woman with a mysterious past, trying to keep it a secret, while someone's threatening her with the exact same thing, leaving rather unmistakable messages behind. Plus, we found the card on Deborah, who was her best friend and confidant, so she was either trying to hide it or destroy it forever, so no one could find out the truth. Am I right so far?
Indeed, Mr. Featherland.
So if I'm not mistaken, Natasha used to work for you before she met Ibn Wessler. He fell in love with her, gave her a job at the Millions Club. The rest is history.
You have talent, Mr. Featherland. I'm really sorry you're not working for the government.
I am working for the government. I'm a cop.
Are you sure, Mr. Featherland?
Touché.
Indeed. Natasha used to work here. We can put it that way, but you know, this isn't just a workplace. She also lived here. She was part of our family, and we still love her very much.
Right. That puts everything in a different light. Zavos is a true survivor, always was. And she's proud of that, even to this day. Maybe I can get her to trust me if I play to this part of her. You tried to protect her. From what?
Natasha came to me penniless, cold to the bone, and wounded. She was only 17 years old. Even if she were my enemy, I would have taken her in until she recovered. Yes, I'm like that. I was raised to be like that.
That's how you do.
Haven't you seen any opportunities for profit? Or were you guided by pure animal goodness?
Is that so hard for you to believe?
I think that worldly women like you try to turn every position to their advantage. I hope I don't offend you.
On the contrary. But no. I didn't see any opportunities in a girl who could barely speak our language, who was starving and wounded and obviously running from something. In fact, I was taking unnecessary risks because of her.
Okay. Okay.
You knew you were taking a risk, yet you still took her in. Why?
I don't know, Mr. Featherland. These things can't always be rationally explained. Not even when I've lived my whole life based on reason, on logic, almost every step calculated.
So Natasha came and turned your whole life upside down. She's like that, isn't she?
It's in her nature, yes. Poor thing can't help it. She's like a tornado. She usually takes everything with her.
That's quite an apt metaphor. But I have to agree.
Did she sweep you away, too?
I don't know yet, madam. I'm clinging firmly to the ground. Do you know where Natasha came from before Clawville?
Naturally. The poor dear couldn't even deny it. Even her name's eloquent, her accent, but mostly her manners, Mr. Featherland. She's from Stovos, and she belonged to the upper class of Stavonian social circles. She could barely even speak the language when I first met her.
Also, I just want to go off here and say I'm very impressed. A crocodile can speak so elegantly with no lips. She has no lips. Like, you're talking and pronouncing all these words, and it's, you're hitting your P's and your T's and everything else, and I'm just like, impressive. Very impressive.
That's all you know about her. An ex-spy like you must have checked up on her new protege's past.
That's the most exciting thing. Yes, I have. Multiple times putting my most treasured connections to good use. But nobody found anything. Natasha's trail could only be traced back to the Stavonian border. What happened in that country, no one knows.
It's rather curious, don't you think?
It is, Mr. Featherland. Yes, curious. That's why I've always been rather fond of Natasha.
Did it touch you deeply when she left you?
Indeed, it did.
Zavos is protective. It seems she's dedicating her whole life to her proteges. If I concentrate on that, maybe she'll open up to me. Have you kept in touch?
Only occasionally, Mr. Featherland. She writes to me every few weeks, and very rarely we talk on the phone. But I haven't heard from her in weeks. The truth is, I've started to worry about her.
Did she give no sign of being in trouble?
Never. No. Natasha's not the kind to talk about her feelings.
Yeah, I've noticed that myself. When was the last time you saw her, Madame Zavos?
Maybe around 2 months ago. There was a ball, attended by Ibn Wessler, his beautiful mate Natasha, and myself. Yes.
Was she herself? Did you feel like she was afraid or worried about something?
On the contrary, she was unrestrained, free, radiant. She was in love. Yes, in her own unique way.
What do you mean?
You know Natasha loves on a different level than most Clawville women. Or most women in the wilderness, in fact. Maybe it's because of the Stavonian origins. Perhaps it's something else.
So you didn't notice anything strange about her?
Well, if anything could be called strange, it was that I saw a woman positively floating above the ground, who previously used to stand on it with 2 feet.
No, that was just Chris Angel. Don't worry about that.
I see. Thank you, madam. How did you feel when you learned Natasha was going to leave?
Honestly, I was very hurt. I loved her as a daughter. How would you have felt?
I couldn't say.
And I still couldn't stop her, and you know why?
Of course I do. Because you loved her.
You've been in my shoes before, am I right, Detective? Yes, I can feel you have.
This isn't about me, madam. Please stop changing the subject.
I have felt betrayed on a certain level. Yes, and offended, and alone. Even amongst all my friends.
Were you disappointed in her?
Only in myself, Mr. Featherland. But I have a hunch you know this feeling very well.
Yes, you're right. Well, thank you for your time, madam.
Anytime, Detective. Yes, anytime.
Oh, oh, I'm so good. I'm the best. I'm living up to that the legend of the chicken police.
Please, gentlemen, wait here a moment. I would like to show you something that could help you.
Yo, she about to come back with a Tommy gun and just waste us.
Oh, that's excellent news. Thank you. We will wait.
Do you trust her?
Not in the slightest. Even her smile is fake. This woman wallowed in other animals' secrets until she became one too.
That's exactly how I feel.
Anyway, now that we're here, we can take a better look around.
Just what I was thinking.
Poke my nose around. Some. Oh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Interesting. Okay, so now I gotta look around and see if I can't. I'm gonna read some of these books. See if maybe.
These books are here for a reason. They mean something.
Bada bing. All right. So let's see. I see. Can't read that one. 7.
These books are here.
I got a 7, 49, and a 1. What could it be? 1. Well, 7, 49, 1.
Beautiful pieces for sure.
Yeah, so here's again.
Yes, this is the Zavos from the legends. Beautiful and deadly.
All right, time to go bleach my eyeballs again. Anything I can poke my nose at? 749 1. Well, that was easier than expected.
Who'd have thought?
I just set it to 749.
She is a legendary ex-spy.
Well, this is something I've never understood. Why isn't a key good enough? I mean, you can take that with you, but riddles can be solved by anyone.
That's a good point.
I don't think many animals get to be in this room, Marty. And the other thing is...
Maybe she wanted us to find it.
exactly what I'm thinking. Who knows? Anyway, we're going in.
Ooh.
This room is not like her at all.
The other must have been for show. Marty, this is the reality. We're talking about a professional spy.
A former spy.
Still, if anyone knows how to mask her real face, it's her.
Wait, you think this is who she really is? Cold, dark, and tiny.
And full of secrets.
You know what, I'm gonna play a little bit more. I want this episode to...
Names, numbers, dates. Oh, furry gods.
I'm gonna go a little bit further because we've uncovered something quite interesting.
Do you think they all belong to the brothel?
Hell no. Half of it is a matter of national security.
What did we step into?
You know what? I don't care, Marty. I'm too old for conspiracies. The only thing that matters to me is to find out what the furry hell we're doing here.
And what it has to do with Natasha.
Sure.
we found where the page has been torn from. And on the very bottom, Natasha Katsenko.
This has got to be it, Marty. Look at the missing page.
Oh, gods. And look at the names.
Yeah, the ladies and their guests.
Damn.
What this means, Marty, is that the most influential people in the city had been Natasha's patrons. Some even from the royal family.
This book could destabilize Clawville.
At least the Clawville we currently know.
You think this is behind everything? Somebody's blackmailing Natasha because of this?
That could easily be the case. But something still doesn't fit. That piece of a painting.
Sonny?
If there's even a small chance of...
Sonny,
What?
there's another familiar name here.
What are you talking about?
Clucking hell, Sonny. Molly?
She was working here too.
It's probably someone else with the same name.
So that's why Natasha told me they'd known each other for a long time.
Look, boss.
I can't believe it. All those stories about her past.
Listen, Boss Bird. Molly loved you, right? Isn't that what matters?
Marty, please shut your fucking beak right now or I'll shut it for you.
Okay, boss. I'm sorry. But
Just shut the cluck up.
We've caught them sneaking around, Miss Diamond, you see?
I see, madam.
Oh, she's strapped. Okay.
oh, back off, ladies.
Where do you keep the shotgun from?
There's no need for this. We don't want trouble.
No, maybe you don't. Unfortunately, trouble has found you, gentlemen.
Madam Zavas, we needed to know the connection. What this place has to do with Natasha. And
And?
my wife.
Filthy cops? He's talking gibberish. May I shoot him?
No, not yet, Miss Diamond.
I'd be very sorry to put holes in your lovely striped skin, but believe me, baby, I will. I've always wanted to know if diamonds are bulletproof.
Please, madam. It'll all be over in a second.
No. We have received different orders, Miss Diamond. Stand down.
Oh, I see. The pony does tricks on command. Well, I'm not surprised.
That's enough, Marty. You knew who she was, didn't you? What she meant to me.
Well, well, Mr. Featherland. Aren't you interested in your case anymore? No? All it took was a name from your past, and your professionalism drowned in the mud.
Stop playing games with me, Zavas. What does all this have to do with Molly?
Nothing at all. No, she was just a little bird among the many who sought refuge here.
You forced her into this.
You'd love to hear that, but until she met you, she was one of us. Just another...
You clucking...
Sonny, no!
Oh!
I think I was dreaming. But it wasn't the kind of dream you'd want to remember. Dark and painful. Then the suffocating smoke woke me. It wasn't fried eggs, that's for sure. Where was I? What happened? That treacherous crocodile. Then I saw Marty, who looked as horrible as I felt. Well, I've always wanted a romantic sea voyage.
Gods damn it. I knew I shouldn't have gone along with this.
Well, things have taken a spicy turn. But guess what? we'll have to continue this in the next episode. Thank you for coming along for the ride. Things are getting very interesting. Make sure to leave a like and a comment, subscribe, and make sure to come back for the next episode of Chicken Police.